Alright, so this is gonna be fun. Um, for those of you seeing any of my videos for the first time, hi, welcome. I'm trying to do a series about mental illness as well as a slew of other subjects, but that's neither here nor there. It's been a while since I've done any video work. I've just been really out of it. It's been pretty low. Um, so about a year ago, I'm dating this. It's currently April 2019, so about March, April 2018 is when I really started to research schizophrenia as in how it affects people, how people cope with it, how people just function with it. So, if you look on YouTube, there are so many wonderful people talking about their experiences with schizophrenia and schizoaffective disorder. Um, A lot of them cover the basics, like you have your positive, your negative symptoms, your psychotic symptoms, and what have you. But I want to talk about the things that no one tells you about being diagnosed with schizophrenia or schizoaffective disorder, any of the psychotic spectrum disorders. Um, Everyone chalks up schizophrenia to being delusional and seeing things that aren't there, hearing things that aren't there, and they don't realize that there are a lot of other components to this disorder that really fuck up your life. The executive dysfunction, where can I start? So, first off, there's this thing called thought blocking, which if you have to deal with this disorder, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Imagine you're trying to get a point across, you have a well-eloquated point, and just out of your brain it goes. It just no idea where that thought went. Your train of thought is just derailed and was never there. It's like some people have said it's like their thoughts are being stolen, or the thoughts are being taken from their brain, which I believe a lot of delusions can stem from not understanding what thought blocking is. It's basically your inner metronome just fizzing out for a second and you losing your train of thought. But yeah, what people don't realize is how bad, um, how much of a memory disorder schizophrenia is, as well as like psychotic disorder. It fucks with everything. It fucks with your long-term memory. It fucks with your working memory, your learning memory. So trying to learn new things becomes a chore. You misplace steps. You miscalculate a lot of things because your memory gaps. I feel like a lot of delusions come from the fact that we have a hard time remembering order of events in the proper order, so our brain just does whatever it can to fill in these gaps. And we have delusionary thinking that stems from that. So, when we try to remember a series of events that took place and we misremember it wrong, or mistake other memories for it, or even just fill in gaps with whatever seems most logical to us. Mind you, that's subjective. It can be very different from the actual series of events that took place. Um, Night smooth thinking. This is where disorganized thought comes into play, disorganized speech. How our brains are just firing so fast, so fast, so fast. It's like if you're trying to remember what thought you're thinking about, it's just already 2 steps ahead of you, and whatever is coming out of our mouth from that thought process is, um, what's the word? It's out of order. It's like, it seems like word salad would be like just a slew of words that don't seem to make sense, but it's because there's missing components to that structure that we're trying to spit out. The best way I could describe it is, let's say, for example, the sun is very bright today. Now, my brain would think that thought. My mouth would come out. The day is light now. A lot less sense, but when you put it into proper context, it makes sense. And it's very hard to kind of explain this thought to people because in our mind, those loose concepts that are very, very loosely associated fit perfectly for whatever we are trying to articulate at that time. What else can I mention is we have really fractured concepts of a risk versus reward. You have an example where someone is sweeping their front lawn at 2 a.m. and you would ask them, it's the middle of the night, why the hell are you sweeping your lawn with a broom? Why aren't you using a rake? And their response is, I want to greet the new day with a clean lawn, which makes no goddamn sense. But at the same time, I mean, wouldn't you love to wake up to just a clean lawn? Terrible example. It's fine. I hope I put my point across. I want to go back to the memory gaps for a minute because this is where insight kind of loses its hold. Insight to one's own mind for a schizophrenic is everything. When you know how you fuck up and the way you fuck up, when you fuck up, you know how to not fuck up. Because of our memory gaps, because of our loose hold on the tangible reality of things, like, and how easy it is for people to gaslight us without even realizing it, it's very hard for us to get a grip if we don't know what reality is. We're end up having the choice where everything is real or nothing is real, because trying to pick and choose is like playing Minesweeper. When it comes to the memory impairment too, we have to worry about like false memories or blocked memories. I can go my day to day and not remember a single second of what I've done or who I've talked to or, you know, what I did. Like, it just, I, image not found, file not found, what have you, is just nothing to record. And I don't know if it's my brain just blocking it out because of boredom or because it's just unable to be accessed. I used to joke that my mind was a rusted shut steel trap. If only I knew before I was making those jokes. I want to point out too that when it comes to blocked memories, this is where schizophrenia and dissociative identity disorder can kind of run in the same lines. If you don't know, schizophrenia is not just caused by chemical imbalance. It's also caused by trauma that someone is associated with throughout their lifetime, isolation, and there's even genetic aspects where your very DNA can indicate whether you are able to come down with psychosis or not. Where was I? So when you go through a psychotic episode, you have to remember that is traumatic as fuck. Your whole reality is being shifted around you, and whatever triggered it, whatever sparked it, was enough for you to lose your grip on reality at that point in time. Some people just get the worst luck and it just happens to them one day. Some people are triggered by a breakup or a depression or a failed class or some incident where they could have gotten hurt or maybe even a suicide attempt. It just depends on the person really. And with every psychotic episode you go through, with every psychosis you go through, it's a little bit more traumatizing to you. It makes your CPTSD a little bit deeper, a little bit more ingrained in just to everything, because there are things you repress during those psychotic episodes that you are putting out of your mind for a very good reason. Whether it's the idea that your family was out to kill you, or like that you were God walking among mortal, what have you. It just, when you are of sound mind, you do not want to think psychotic thoughts. You do not want to be in psycho mode. And so that's where those blocked memories will cause disassociation spells. We will just phase out, zoom out, our brain will stop. I believe that might be a cause of thought blocking too, when certain words or certain ideas kind of reference past trauma and we just blank out for just a few seconds while our brain recuperates. It's amazing how fragile our psyche is. I'm almost at 10 minutes, or I'm almost at 11 minutes, so I'm going to wrap this up. The biggest thing that no one tells you about schizophrenia that I will forever be irked at is brain fog. It's like living your life in soup. Thinking straight is nigh impossible. Trying to have cohesive thoughts that make sense, and the act of sharing them by using mouth words is such a chore, and I wish people could understand how aggravating it can be sometimes when you are trying to focus and, you know, function, and have this issue pop up where it's just like it is one of the most aggravating things that I am actually kind of sad that there was not more mention about it when I was first diagnosed. And I feel like a lot of people should, you know, be braced for that, because not only does brain fog occur naturally, it is a major side effect from antipsychotic medications, as well as mood elevators. Like lithium, for example, will cause you to have major brain fog, at least in my experience. Yeah, I'm at 12 minutes now. I want to thank you for tuning in. I want you to thank you for listening to me, and have a good day. Bye.